All right, I think we are up and live, or I hope at least we are, and I hope that anyone jumping on is able to hear me. So let's see. All right. So today is Super Bowl Sunday. So I anticipate this is going to be a shorter live than we had originally thought. I had planned, I left it in the other room, to actually talk about some of the things going on as far as projects and quilting and different things, but that did not get as accomplished today as I had hoped to. But you know what? That's very typical, and that's what happens a lot of times. Hey, BB, good afternoon. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. So, I had planned to do some sewing and chatting and things, but ends up we'll probably only be on here about a half hour or so. So I thought I'd just show you some of the things I have got um, accomplished, I guess. Hey, Barb, thanks for joining. So I did manage. So both of my grandkids, it's so funny, they're 2 years apart. So one is 6 and one is 4, but they're both in 4T. And it just amazes me. I had to go to the store and pick up 2 of these t-shirts. And I'm like, I have no idea, comprehension about how small children are. But anyways, I did get 2 things accomplished. I did manage to stitch out for my granddaughter, who is a complete and utter handful and always full of herself. I did get this stitched out. So Irish Lass full of sass. And I think on the t-shirt, it is going to be adorable. So if you all remember, I have had in the past commercial and embroidery machines. Well, when you try to do this with a single needle and you have this little bitty t-shirt to work with this, John had to do some rethinking about how that was going to happen. Plus, I'm really worried if the grandkids would like that on them. I can tell you my granddaughter probably wouldn't care. My grandson, who's worries about everything, probably absolutely would not like it. So anyways, I ended up stitching these out, and I am going to probably cut this down a little bit more. These are, I think, 5x5, but cut this down a little bit more. And I think I'm going to zigzag it onto the t-shirt like a big patch. And I think that will be just as cute, just as adorable, and will work for them. So this is hers for her to wear to school. She's in kindergarten. And I agree. I'm hoping at some point I can sew and talk. We'll see how that goes, but let's be real. I have a hard enough time just talking and keeping up sometimes. So I do think that one turned out really cute. My grandson, who is all boy, 24/7, always into trouble, always doing something, is getting this one that says part Irish and all trouble. And I think both of them did stitch out. I bought these from Deer Embroidery, and I think both of these stitched out really nice. It's the first time I've used their patterns in that, so I'm really happy with the way those stitched out. And again, I'm going to zigzag around his and put his on his t-shirt. So I think those will turn out really cute. And I need to get those done in the next week because I do want to make sure I get those in the mail so they'll have them in time to wear to preschool or kindergarten. So thank you. Yes, I do think they turned out really cute, but thank you for saying that. What else did I want? I've lost my scissors now. Wow, it's just gonna be that kind of day, right? I looked even before the live to make sure I had scissors sitting there so I would have these. But I got another package from, oh, here they are. I got another package from Missouri Star Quilt because Missouri Star Quilt had a big sale, and John just couldn't resist, and John bought some stuff. And we'll tell you something else that John did too that he probably shouldn't have done, but he did anyways. And you know, it is what it is. So, but let's see. Oh, so here's what's funny. So they did send me a pluck chuck. I did get that. The flat chucks are cute. It's a really cute concept. I don't fool with them, but I do think it's cute. So I had gone on because I wanted to do this table runner, right, that I showed you all the other day from Sweet Pea. I really want to do that table runner because I think that would be so cute to do for Easter. And that was fine, except then John got impatient and ended up buying all this fabric from Joann's Fabric so we could get the table runner started sooner rather than later. And then when John got home last night, John had a Missouri Star Quilt box, excuse me, full of Easter fabric, spring fabric that John bought to do those that table runner with. So at least John has plenty of fabric now. So just in case you all ever worry, if the apocalypse or anything should ever happen, I could be isolated and bound to this home for at least 6 months and probably still not run out of projects and fabric. And I hope that you all are the same. I hope that I'm not unique in that. Because I know several women here that in the community that do quilting and that, and one so bad that she has to park outside because she has so many tubs of materials and fabrics and that in her garage. So I am at least not that bad. Everything does have its time and its place. But I bought these. This was a Emerald Forest charm pack. And it's all green. I had grabbed this because it was, I think it was like $5 or something. It was on clearance from Missouri Star Quilt. And as one of the subscribers told me, the best thing I can do is delete, block the emails and unjoin the email list because just Jenny does run good sales. But anyway, so I did grab that, but that's not actually why I went on. I did purposely go on looking for fat quarters in that so I could do the Easter project. This turns out to be Gray Blush, which is a fat quarter gem group. And it's a lot of grays, a lot of pinks. And I knew the fat quarters would be great and easy to work with. And so that's what I ended up buying. And then, of course, if you buy one, you might as well buy two. So I bought a second one that is Riley Blake. And I'm not sure. Got to see what. She didn't put a receipt in the box. So I'm not sure what collection this is. Oh, this is called Bunny Trail. Bunn Trail, right? How adorable is that? So, and see, Russ always helps bring me back to earth, right? Russ says we don't discuss how many projects we have. So see, we are all on the same page. So how cool is that? So this Bunny Trail actually does give me a lot of variety. Had I not just bought all that other Joann's fabric. So I may end up doing a Easter quilt or at least a spring quilt with some of these because I love the floral patterns that are in here and some of the other stuff that's here. So how cool is that? So I need to really kind of get those pulled together and get those, get a project going there. So that is one thing that I have accomplished. And I will say, I think I paid way too much for this pack. I don't think this was on sale. And I think this is one of those big, thick fat quarter packs that, it is what it is. But anyway, so we did grab that. So I did work on that this week. We did go see the Lehman Brothers last night was the play that we went to see in Phoenix. We love the Phoenix Theater. We go to the Phoenix Theater pretty regularly. We always see different shows in that. The Lehman trilogy was not high on our list. It's a 3-hour, 3-person play. Um, we may have just accidentally forgot to go back after intermission. And so we probably missed out on some things. But if you're not familiar with the Lehman trilogy, it's about the Lehman brothers, but it starts with when they came over from Italy and got off the boat in New York. And it was just not our cup of tea. So it was what it was. And so, excuse me. So we came back home. Next weekend, I will not have a live because we do have show tickets yet again. And it is on Sunday afternoon. So I won't be back here to do a live next Sunday, but I will pick up the following Sunday. And I am trying to get better about announcing the lives and having those posted. So you all know that. I did drop a couple of videos this week, just as we were doing some unboxings and things like that. So with that said, that is kind of the week in review. Big thing for us, is the end of the month. We have the Palo Verde Patchers quilt show. So if you're local to the area, feel free to drop in. I'll be there both days for about 3 hours working. So please say hi if you are so inclined to come out and see us. I did not put a quilt in the show. I don't believe I'm ready, and I'll tell you honestly why I know I'm not ready for quilt shows yet. I have a real struggle with holding a 1/4-inch seam. I am really working hard, been really focused on that, and I wish I'd brought it in, but the Virginia Tech quilt, I did manage to get the first maroon border around it. So now all I have to do is finish it by putting this coordinating border all the way around it. So I do need to trim this up and piece it together, and then I will be putting that border on. But what John did discover as he was playing with his 1/4-inch seams and that is measurements have never been my strength. And I realized why. I kept thinking, man, I am holding that line, holding that seam perfect. It just seems so big. But when I keep laying it on the ruler tells me it is exactly a 1/4-inch seam. And so it is what it is, right? So you have to trust it. The problem is the ruler is only as good as the person operating the ruler, which would have been me. And I ended up, instead of doing 1/4-inch seams on that quilt, I did a 1/2-inch seam all the way around. And that's why those seams look so big to me. So since then, I have understood what I did. And so now we're back into working the 1/4-inch seam. And BB, I will be there 11 to 1 or 11 to 2 both days. The show is Saturday and Sunday, which is really kind of unusual for us. Most things out here typically runs Friday and Saturday. But for us working people, it was nice they did Saturday and Sunday. I think the show is 10 to 5 or 10 to 4, but I'm there 11 to 1 both days. And of course, I'll probably be there early and be there a little bit later. They do have some really amazing baskets if you're interested in picking up some stuff. But all of that stuff has been donated in that. And also, as part of your ticket coming in, you get a discount to all the local quilt stores around us. So especially if you come on Saturday, you might be able to do a little shopping if you just felt so inclined. Sorry. So, we do all learn, right? So at least I was consistent with the 1/2-inch. Now that I've figured out what I've done, I'll finish out with a 1/4-inch with that quilt, and that will, that will be done. Yes, I do have a seam gauge on my sewing machine, and it's very interesting. So I now own a Janome Memory Craft 6650. So we won't talk about how many machines John has bought. I really like this new Janome. I like a lot of things about it. The Juki still irritates me because it double knots every time that it wants to start stitching, and it just looks like a mess on the back of the quilt. Yes, I know I could put a leader in and prevent that. I don't think I should have to do that. I actually wrote Juki and asked them about it, to which their customer service chose not to respond to me for the last 2 weeks. So I may just start sending it to them every Monday just to hopefully be irritating enough that they might respond, or at least they'll just put me in the spam pile. But that kind of stuff just really irritates me with companies. So I ended up going out and picking up a Janome. I'm really happy with it. It does have the 1/4 inch on it. It's taken me a little bit getting used to it because I didn't know how to set my needle and some of the other stuff, so I ended up having the needle set for straight stitch normal, and then I put the 1/4 inch foot on it, but I didn't put the 1/4 inch setting in the machine, so that was part of my problem too. So, um, but yes, so Barb, I now am learning a whole lot about that 1/4 inch seam allowance, and it's just amazing to me um, how what a difference everything makes. When I look back in the last year and a half with the projects that I've done and different things, I am really happy with the accomplishments I've made. My kids are very happy with the projects that I've completed and sent them. But again, at the same time, it's just like, wow, it's just hard to believe um, what's out there. With that said, hopefully, I'm hoping in the next before the end of February. I really do want to get something going on Grace back here and at least get one quilt top done. It looks like Valentine's is going to come before I ever get the table runner squared up and the binding done, but it is what it is. But look what I found the other day. This is absolutely the most adorable pop-up bucket for Halloween. And I was very excited for this. As you know, I'm a Halloween nut. And this actually comes as a complete set in that. So I did grab that the other day. So yet again, something else to fool with. So we'll see how it goes. But a lot of different projects, a lot of things going on. This week is going to be interesting for us because we have Tuesday night here in the community. We're part of the Boomers group. The Boomers have uh, Mardi Gras. So we're having a big Mardi Gras party over at the Boomers Clubhouse, which should be interesting. And yes, we bought Mardi Gras t-shirts, we bought beads, we bought face masks, and we bought things for our hair and all that. So yes, we'll be full blown out for Mardi Gras on Tuesday. Wednesday is Valentine's, so someone gets taken out to Valentine's, and yes, someone did get roses and flowers this weekend. So Curtis does know how to play the right game sometimes. So that was really exciting. And then, like I said, this weekend we've got coming up more show tickets and those type of things going on. So just a lot going on for us and a lot happening. But we like to stay busy. And then on top of it, we have to work. The good news is this is my Friday off week. So hopefully I only have to work 4 days. I only have to go to the office 2. So maybe Friday I can actually get caught up on a lot of projects. So that brings me into talking about this one. So I got really excited to start this project today because I bought all that quilt fabric from Joann's. And then I realized this actually comes with the SVG files. And of course, I own a Cricut. So I am planning, and Friday may be a good day to do it because it is better for me to do some of this stuff when Curtis just isn't home and around. I may try to get this all put together. It recommends using SF101. I've got a bolt of it, and putting together some of that fabric material and spending the time learning how to get over on my Cricut, get it cut out, get all my pieces put together, and then when I can put it over on the Viking, it should stitch out pretty quick. And so anxious to see how that works. I have not done, I've cut fabric one time on the Cricut. The Cricut and I did not get along well. The Cricut and I did not like each other. And I use those words you're not supposed to use sometimes. And that's why I sometimes worry about doing lives when I'm um, um, quilting and that. But, I will have to say I have learned a lot of different patience. My kids would absolutely be surprised the level of patience that I have figured out that quilting has taught me, because being upset or getting frustrated just doesn't make a difference. I laugh because Sean always talks about his seam ripper so much. The other day, I sewed something. Um, I sewed it wrong, had it reversed, and so I had to sit and rip it all out and pull all the threads out, get it lined back up, and I sewed it just the way that I had just taken it apart. So twice I had to take it out for the same mistake twice in a row. So I assure you, the third time that I went to stitch it, I did make sure that I looked and that I did that one correctly. Um, I work in human resources, so I do labor relations for an organization and represent our company to the union. And so we work with people all day. It's very interesting working with generations. We have employees that have been with the company 30 and 40 years. And then I have a new generation that have only been there 6 months to a year. And the ideas that each bring to the table is very interesting. So you know exactly what it's like then. So um, people are people at the end of the day. But I love what I do. I have an amazing employer, a very supportive employer. Um, they treat our employees extremely well. It's frustrating at times because I've been in the job market. I know what our benefits are. I know what's out there. And I just laugh because it's like, wow, you all just don't have a clue. You don't want to go back into the job market. So, but that's what I do for full time. Fortunately, I have a great team that I work with, some really great people. So they keep me somewhat balanced during the day. What helps me is coming home at night and being focused. I want to do what Russ does. And I think Russ is the one that says that he tries to stitch 30 minutes every day. I am not there. That is my goal. And hopefully, starting in March, I would like to be able to sew and stitch out 30 minutes a day on whatever project. I remember when I started quilting 18, 19 months ago, I couldn't believe how y'all crazy people have multiple projects and multiple things going, because you can only do one at a time. You start a project, you finish a project, then you move to the next one. Obviously, I learned differently, and that's why I now have 11 quilt tops waiting for the long arm, along with three other projects that I've already cut all the fabrics for. And I think that's what I need to understand is, if I spend one night or two nights a week, even if it's just 30 minutes, just cutting, it just is, it's just so hard for me. It's like I want to sew, I want to do other things. And I feel like a lot of times I spend just a lot of time cutting. So that's why I really do want to practice on the Cricut. Friday may be a good day to do that. I've got tons of fabric to play with. I really would like to make two of these Easter table runners, because John wants one for himself. And my daughter, who's always been the spoiled little princess, will absolutely want one too. And so sometimes it is what it is. She always seems to get what she wants. So Russ, I'm glad you say it's a pipe dream, but it is a goal of mine, and you're the one that put it out there, I believe. So it's just so funny. It's we all have projects, we all have things that we want to do, but just, man, does life get in the way sometimes. It just just so crazy. We woke up this morning, um, and it's 36. It's never supposed to be 36 in Phoenix, and it's 36 degrees. I go over and turn the heat pump on, get the house warm, and 30 minutes later, the air conditioning's running. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? To finally call and tell them, you need to come fix this new unit you put in. To 6 hours later, they show up and go, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. If it's really cold in the morning, the unit thinks it messes with the unit and the coils outside. So it'll blow air in the house while it's blowing hot air on the coils to heat them back up. And then it reverses. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So that doesn't logically, that doesn't even make sense, but it is what it is. So they said, that's part of it. We're not supposed to be so cold in Phoenix. We're not supposed to think about it. So, but it's just crazy. Hey, Georgie, um, my working life cuts into my sewing life too much, and I don't like it. I will absolutely agree. I will have to say, I love our community. We do a lot of activities. We play bunco. We go to the boomers. We go to the plays and all that. But all of that to me is very manageable. But I still just want to sit sometimes 30 minutes behind the machine. And I'm thinking if I actually devote the time to cutting once or twice a week, where I always have a project available just to stitch, that'll make a big difference. I got the blocks, like I showed y'all a couple of weeks ago. I got these stitched are all cut for that U of L quilt that I want to do. I still need to get the other blocks cut for the Marines quilt. But those went fairly quick through the AccuQuilt. That's why I bought the AccuQuilt. Um, if I can just get that kind of stuff stacked ahead, it really should be no excuse that I can't sit down for 30 minutes a night, just stitch some things out. And if I did that, I'd probably be surprised how quickly I get things done. One of the things I really want to focus on this year is I would really like to put together what I consider a show quality quilt. Um, as a novice, as a beginner, I think there's a lot of opportunity for me out there, and I did not participate in our quilt show this year purposely because I'm not excited about how some of the things line up in our quilt show, but I really would like to participate in some upcoming quilt shows. Sean is a big encourager of getting out there doing that. I want to get my quilts judged, and I want people to look at it. Of course, I have a great quilt guild, and all of the members there are always very eager to share their opinions about what's happening and what's going on. So I always have opportunities out there, I guess, is the easiest thing to say. So it is almost Super Bowl time. Curtis ordered hot wings and pizza for us, so we are going to watch Super Bowl commercials. I will have to say not a I like football. I've always enjoyed football. Love Virginia Tech football, or when they used to have a team. Um, this year we don't have a team in the Super Bowl, so we will watch the commercials more than anything. But I do enjoy just the whole atmosphere around that. It was pretty electrifying having it here in Phoenix last year. So it's interesting that it moved from Phoenix just up the street basically to Las Vegas. So it's still exciting. It's just an exciting time. So, guys, I really appreciate that you all jumped um, in that you all are supporting our channel, that you're there. Georgie says, my mom started at the state fair. She became amazing with time. I've thought about that. I will have to say our state fair is just disappointing compared to some of the others, but the fact that we have a state fair is a good thing. We lived in Virginia for 10 years, and sometimes they had a state fair. Some years they didn't have a state fair. It was just really strange. Our state fair is kind of a real mix. So I'm not sure if I'll start there or maybe some of the smaller shows like our Quilt Guild does. But I definitely want to get some quilts out there and get some feedback and see what's going on. So thanks, Barb. Thanks each and every one of you for joining today. I appreciate that you all jump in, listen to me rattle on sometimes. And until next time, happy crafting, guys.